I'm here to observe and to learn, but if there's any doing to be done, then...
Inspector Sullivan. Someone's been a naughty boy.
Don't! You'll bleed to death.
Did you come back to have it out with him?
No. What about the medallion?
The prisoner is remanded in custody for committal to the Court of Assize for murder.
You might want to do a review of your security.
It's designed to stop criminals breaking out, not in.
Do you mind? Trade secrets.
Hey, 709. Frankie the Fence. I made the arrest. What do we make of these?
Frankie Defence is size 10 feet.
Frankie the Fence is a woman. Put that back.
Look what I found.
Next word you say will be your last. One. Just one reason why not.
Because you're innocent.
Victim was shot with an arrow fired from a longbow. Can't be many of those around these days. Should be easy to identify. Oh, boy.
Quite.
On the back of his skull is completely caved in. Oh, well, look who's here. The killer found him by his hands, threw him out the window, and then proceeded to drag his body under the bush.
I'll show you up.
Ah, very kind.
One had a gun, the other a knife. Tied up Sir Armstrong with a rope, robbed him, killed him. Simple.
Except that he wasn't tied up.
Detective Inspector Sullivan, Camelford Police. Thank you. And Miss Oliphant were unaccounted for at the time of death, so I'll be obliged if you give me account of your whereabouts.
Damn your impertinence.
My car developed a little rattle on the way down.
Do you have a habit of acting as your own mechanic? You can tell the chief super of an unexplained death, a house full of people with no alibi, and a 3,000-year-old mummy on the prowl. Don't tell the chief superintendent that, Sergeant. You have exactly 20 seconds to get out of my office, or... Lady Felicia, do you mind if I ask what it is that you're doing?
Inspector, how fortuitous. Do take a seat.
You're in my chair.
No young lady in your life?
No, Lady Felicia,
Shame. And you, so young and handsome.
Whenever there's a suspicious death, you're never far away. Does the Grim Reaper give you advance warning? I'd say that's a 2-minute journey. And yet you're unaccounted for nearly 10.
I may have stopped somewhere along the way.
Really?
Actually, yes. I think I did stop to admire the lavender.
Is that so?
It's rather magnificent this time of year.
So are Betty Grable's legs. I know what I'd rather look at. I'm expected to brief my men over an impending art heist based on a half-baked hunch. Do you want on this list? If either of you set foot in that museum tomorrow, I'll have you arrested for obstruction. Understood?
And how did you get in? Well, I've checked on security arrangements. Everything seems to be in order.
Red in, black in, red out. He's got the painting. It's gone blow! Get down!
Thank you, Inspector.
One of these days. The painting? I thought having someone covering your back, so to speak, was a perk of the job.
Inspector Sullivan, this is a serious matter. This morning I received a telephone call which convinced me that someone in those woods wanted me dead.
Now there's a man on a mission. I recognise the bicycle. Visit of compassion. You see, I had a shilling bet with Goodfellow that you were really here because you found out about Davies stealing all Ethel's savings. Might she have sneaked into the woods, stolen a cartridge, and shot her husband? Tally-ho! For Bishop Talbot, wiping out a large chunk of your fortune.
How I made my fortune.
It was sold out for 5 months and you lost £10,000. Must have been hilarious. The show, I mean. Your son is in serious trouble. Do you realise that? You got an awful lot of junk in here. Alphonse couldn't be easier to convict if he walked into this station and handed himself over.
I'm here to confess to the accidental killing of Jeremiah Moxley.
When Washbrook sent...
You've reopened the case?
No. Just reviewing some of my predecessor's findings.
I suppose this is one of the rare instances where my meddling has proved
Meddlesome? As usual. Helping the lieutenant again, Father?
Apparently he does a raucous knees up Mother Brown.
I'm asking the questions.
What is this?
Your mistake. Finally catching up with you. I'll know when I've found it. This rosary he mentions, valuable, is it?
It's reputed to have healing powers.
You don't say.
Won't get far with that bullet, will
Wouldn't be so sure about that.
Found himself a nice English rose and quietly left his old life behind. Father, Piotr came up in the original investigation. He left the farm 6 weeks before Ivan was killed. Am I supposed to read something into these? Yesterday, Piotr was the murderer. Today, he's another victim. What will he be tomorrow, I wonder?
Don't you see, Inspector?
No, don't you see? Even if I accept that these trinkets prove that other murders were committed, it's only putting Violet in the picture there too.
Together?
Yes.
Pregnancy test results just came through.
The whole thing was a delaying tactic while her boyfriend tried to concoct new evidence.
Speculation.
She's played you like a fiddle, Father. Go home, Father.
She's the killer.
If this is a stunt,
You'll have to find her now. You have to stop the execution.
I'm leaving now, Father.
I hope you rot in hell!
Oh, it would be ungracious of me not to offer my congratulations.
Inspector, what brings you here?
I need the toilet.
You've just been
I got a weak bladder.
tough. So, to save your son. Wait, what have you done with Tillet? You know, I rather enjoyed being on the same side for once.